Friends, have you ever wondered where the gas that lights the stove in your home actually comes from? Today, I'm going to take you on an incredible journey that begins far out in the middle of the ocean and ends right inside your kitchen. This is the amazing journey of liquefied natural gas, also known as LNG. Imagine a tiny molecule traveling thousands of kilometers just to reach your home. The gas you use every day for cooking was once trapped deep beneath the ocean floor. First, it was discovered, then extracted, then cleaned, then turned into liquid, loaded onto special ships, transported across the sea, changed back into gas, and finally delivered through pipelines to your home. The whole process is so fascinating that it feels almost like science fiction, but the truth is, reality can sometimes be even more amazing than fiction. So today, let's understand step by step how this entire magic-like process actually happens. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe so the next video reaches you first. Friends, the story begins with a hidden treasure beneath the ocean. Yes, I'm talking about natural gas reserves that have been buried deep under the sea for millions of years. This gas was formed from ancient plants and animals that lived long before humans existed. Over millions of years, their remains got buried under layers of mud, sand, and rock. With time, heat and pressure transformed them into natural gas. Beneath the ocean floor, this gas remains trapped inside layers of sedimentary rocks under extremely high pressure. But finding this gas is not simple. Scientists use advanced underwater survey equipment to locate it. They send seismic waves into the ocean floor, and by studying how those waves bounce back, they can detect where gas reserves might be hidden. This process is almost like treasure hunting, except the treasure is buried deep under the seabed. Marine geologists spend years researching, scanning, and analyzing the ocean floor to find the best drilling locations. These reserves are often found thousands of meters below the surface, sometimes at depths of 1,000 to 4,000 meters, or even more. With modern technology, experts can estimate how much gas is present in a particular area before drilling even begins. Once the location is confirmed, the real challenge starts: extracting the gas. For this, a massive structure is built above the sea called an offshore drilling platform. These platforms are so huge that hundreds of workers can live and work on them. They eat there, sleep there, and continue operations day and night, far away from land. Under this platform, a powerful drill cuts through the seabed and goes deeper and deeper into the earth, sometimes reaching 3,000 to 5,000 meters below. Just imagine for a second, drilling 3 to 5 kilometers into ground beneath the ocean. When the drill finally reaches the gas reservoir, the gas naturally tries to rush upward because of the high pressure, but engineers carefully control this pressure to prevent accidents. This work is extremely risky, so safety is taken very seriously. Even a small mistake can lead to a major disaster. During drilling, gas does not come out alone. Water, oil, sulfur compounds, carbon dioxide, and other substances can come out with it. These have to be separated right there on the platform or sent for processing. The gas that comes out at this stage is still raw and cannot be used directly. It must be cleaned and refined before it can move to the next stage. This is the reality of offshore drilling. In the middle of powerful waves, storms, and endless ocean, workers continue their job so that energy can eventually reach our homes. Many of these workers spend 1 or 2 months on the platform, away from their families, just to keep the gas supply running. Now, the gas extracted from the sea is not ready for direct use. It contains many impurities that must be removed first. Raw gas can contain water vapor, sulfur, carbon dioxide, and other chemicals. If this gas were sent directly into pipelines, it could damage the pipes, reduce efficiency, or release harmful gases when burned. That is why the next step is gas processing. The raw gas is sent to a processing plant where all the unwanted materials are removed. These plants contain many machines such as separators, scrubbers, and filters. Each machine has a specific job. Water is removed, carbon dioxide is separated, sulfur is taken out, and harmful elements are filtered away. What remains after this process is clean methane-rich natural gas. This is the useful form of natural gas. The cleaning process takes time and consumes a lot of energy, but it is absolutely necessary because only high-quality gas can be transported and used safely. After cleaning, scientists and technicians test the gas again. They check its purity, pressure, temperature, and composition to make sure no harmful material remains. Once the gas passes all quality checks, it is ready for one of the most important and scientific steps in the entire journey: turning gas into liquid. This is where LNG is created. LNG stands for liquefied natural gas. Think about it. A gas that normally spreads everywhere in the air is cooled down to around minus 162 degrees Celsius. At this extremely low temperature, natural gas changes from gas into liquid. This is one of the most impressive parts of the process. When natural gas becomes liquid, its volume becomes about 600 times smaller. That means gas that would normally fill a huge space can now fit into a much smaller tank. This is the main reason natural gas is converted into LNG. It makes transportation over long distances much easier and more practical. For this process, huge liquefaction plants are built, often near the gas production site. These plants use powerful compressors and advanced cooling systems to bring the gas temperature down to extremely cold levels. A liquefaction plant is almost like a small industrial city, with thousands of people working there and massive machines running continuously. Once the gas becomes liquid, it appears almost transparent and remains incredibly cold. It is so cold that touching it directly could cause severe cold burns. At such extreme temperatures, even some metals can become brittle and damaged within moments. That is why LNG must be stored and transported in specially insulated tanks designed to keep it cold. These tanks prevent heat from entering and help keep the LNG in liquid form. After the gas has been transformed into liquid, the most adventurous part of its journey begins: transportation across the sea. LNG must often travel from one country to another, and for this, specially designed ships called LNG carriers are used. These are giant vessels built only for carrying liquefied natural gas. First, LNG is loaded onto the ship at a special loading terminal. It flows through large insulated pipes at minus 162 degrees Celsius directly into the ship's storage tanks. This loading process can take 12 to 24 hours because such an extremely cold liquid must be transferred very carefully and slowly. Once the ship is full, the crew checks everything: tank pressure, temperature, safety systems, possible leaks, and all monitoring equipment. Only when everything is confirmed safe does the ship leave the port. But even after leaving, the work does not stop. During the entire sea journey, the crew monitors every tank from the control room 24 hours a day. A journey from Qatar to India, for example, can take around 7 to 10 days depending on route and conditions. These LNG ships are incredibly expensive, often costing more than $200 million each. But they are one of the most effective ways to transport natural gas across oceans. Without these ships, moving such huge quantities of gas from one continent to another would be extremely difficult. When the LNG carrier finally reaches the importing country's port, the ocean journey comes to an end, but the gas still has one final stage before it reaches your home. At the port, LNG is unloaded and stored in massive onshore storage tanks. These tanks are so huge that a single tank can hold enough gas to support the needs of a small city for some time. But remember, the LNG is still in liquid form. Before it can be used in homes, factories, or vehicles, it must be changed back into gas. This process is called regasification. In regasification, the LNG is slowly warmed from minus 162 degrees Celsius back toward normal temperature. As it warms up, it changes from liquid back into gas. This process takes place at a regasification terminal, usually located near the port. Once the LNG becomes gas again, it is sent into large pipelines. These pipelines run underground and form a huge network spread across cities, towns, industrial areas, and neighborhoods. Before the gas reaches homes, it passes through city gate stations where its pressure is checked and reduced. The original pressure is too high for household use, so it must be carefully controlled. From there, distribution pipelines carry the gas to local areas, CNG station, factories, businesses, and finally homes. And when you turn on your kitchen stove and see that blue flame, remember this: that flame began its journey deep beneath the ocean, traveled through drilling platforms, processing plants, liquefaction terminals, giant ships, storage tanks, regasification systems, and underground pipelines before reaching you. This is not a small thing. Behind that simple blue flame are thousands of engineers, scientists, offshore workers, ship crews, technicians, and pipeline workers who work day and night to keep the gas supply running. Some of them stay away from home for weeks or months so that energy can reach millions of people. And yet, many of us waste gas without thinking. Sometimes we leave the stove on unnecessarily or use gas carelessly, never realizing how much effort, technology, money, and human labor are behind it. Natural gas is a valuable resource created by the earth over millions of years. Once it is used up, it cannot be replaced quickly, so use gas responsibly. Do not waste it. Respect the energy that reaches your home after such a long and difficult journey. Now tell me in the comments, do you use natural gas in your home? If yes, write natural gas in the comments. And if you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.